Okay, so for this day, I don't have time to explain to you how we get the law of cosines, which we will eventually. I'll explain to you guys how we get the law of sines, law of cosines. But we do have time to look at these formulas. Now, there's really only two formulas here. They're doing like the repeat thing again. You just need to know this formula and this formula. Now here, let me talk about it for a second. For this one, we use in certain situations when they give you an angle. If they give you an angle, we're going to make that part of the formula. And so there's the angle right there, and here's the other two angles. Now these two angles, the B and the C, they are not the opposite side of this angle. A is on the other side, okay? And over here, they don't give you an angle, but they give you all the sides. Now A right here is the one being subtracted. That's because that's the opposite of the angle that they give you. Right? I don't know. I'm listening to myself talk right now. I still think that's kind of confusing. So let's just look at a concrete example, and it might start making sense. So here they give us all sides. That's what this is for. So side, side, side. They give us all sides. They give us 8 feet, 14 feet, and 19 feet, and we have to solve the triangle. That means we have to find all the other angles and all the other sides, but there's no more sides because there's only 3 sides. Anyways, so let's draw our triangle just for a visual. We have 8, 14, and 19. Doesn't have to be to scale, just using it for visual. Okay, and it doesn't matter which one's A, which one's B, which one's C. I'm just going to put them out so that we can find one of these angles. Which angle would you guys like to find, A, B, or C? It's up to you. A? All right, we'll do A first. Okay, so if we're looking for A, we don't know A, then we're going to want to use the formula that starts with cosine A. Okay, now what's on the other side?
Both sides squared.
Remember it was the other sides, not the opposite side. The other side, so it's 8 squared plus 19 squared. Okay, you guys with me still? I picked these two sides because those ones are not the opposite. But then I'm going to say minus the opposite side, 14 squared. Okay, and that squared is only happening to the 14, not the negative 14, so it stays negative. Okay, and then underneath it, it says 2 times the other two sides, not the opposite side. You guys got that? Okay. Simplify this. Okay, check me if I'm wrong. 229 is your numerator. And what's the denominator? 2 times 8 times 19. What is it? 304. 304. Okay, how do I get the cosine or the A alone?
You
Arc cosine it. So we're going to arc cosine both sides. Or arc cosine this. And that's going to cancel out the cosine, and we have to arc cosine this. Arc cosine. So A would equal approximately whatever you get when you arc cosine this fraction right here. All right, so our angle is 41.12 degrees. Okay, that is A. Now we have to find the B and the C. Now it's your choice how you want to find them. You can still use the law of cosines. I like using the law of sines. And since we have an angle and its opposite, now I have a complete fraction. Now I'm going to start using the law of sines to find the rest of them. Okay, so let's find B next, since you guys had me find A first, because letter A is first in the alphabet. All right, so we have sine of B over 19 equals sine of 41.12 over 14. Do you guys know what sine of this is going to give us? It's going to give us this. So if you want to be exact, you're going to plug in that and for this sine instead of, wait, hold on, let me pause this and make sure I'm right. Okay, never mind. What I said just now was wrong. But if you don't want to put in the rounded answer, like if you want to be really exact, you're not going to put in 41.12. You're going to put in what you use to get 41.12. So you're going to put sine of arc cosine. Well, let's just do cosine inverse because it's the same. Cosine inverse of 229 over 304. Okay, so we're plugging this bad boy inside of sine instead of the simplified version. Now, if you want to plug in the approximate number, you can. You'll get an answer that's really close to the real answer, but it's not going to be exact. If you were an engineer, which I know you guys are not, you're just students, you would want to use this instead because that's more exact. That's not rounded. Okay, so how do we get B alone right now? Well, we'd multiply that side by 19, so it'd be sine B equals 19 times a lot of stuff. Okay. No, it's not. Sine of cosine inverse of 229 over 304. Oh, nasty. And then how are we gonna get the B alone? Yeah, we're gonna have to take sine inverse of this. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to do the rounded version.
No, we can't.
You want to do exact? All right, do it.
Must be legitimate.
Then do this. Plug this into your calculator, and then whatever answer you get, do the sine inverse of that. All right. So if you plugged everything in right, you would have gotten B is approximately equal to 63.1. Well, actually, it'd be 0.199. So let's go 0.2 degrees. That was gnarly. 63.2. Now, how would you find this last angle? Yeah, add them, then subtract it from 180. Do it. What do you get? 75.68. All right, cool. Our triangle is solved. Okay, here's the other example. Now this is when you're getting a side angle side. This is when the angle is embedded in the two sides. Now if this is the case, then you're going to use the other formula. The other formula is where you have the a squared equal to all that stuff. Because we're given the angle. So because we're given the angle, this is what you're going to write. You're going to use this. A squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a. Okay, now let's plug stuff in. We don't know what a squared is. Do we know what b squared is? Yes, it's either 15 or 10, doesn't matter. So 15 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 10 times 15 times cosine of 115 degrees. I don't know why. It's after a year of me not looking at log cosines, I forget it. But then I look at the formula, then I use it, and then I will remember it for another month. All right, so what is 15 squared? 225, and then 10 squared obviously is 100, minus, now what is this? What's 2 times 10 times 15?
150 times 2.
That's 300? Okay, I'm trusting you guys, I'm not checking it. And then we're multiplying that times cosine of 115 degrees. Oops. Okay. All right, so what do you do first? Do you add these and then subtract that? Or do you multiply this and then you multiply or add first? Yeah, you multiply first. So we must multiply this. But when you multiply it, make sure you say that this is a negative 300. Because if you say it's a negative 300, then all you have to do is add these to it. That's kind of like a calculator trick, so you don't have to mess with signs and stuff. So say negative 300 times cosine of 115, and then add 225 and 100 to it. Tell me that number again. 451.79. Okay, keep that number in your calculator. Don't get rid of it. What do we have to do to find A? Square root it. Okay, square root both sides. Square root that number. What do you get? 0.26. Okay. And don't forget, this is approximate. 21.26. Now, I'm not going to finish this one because I finished the other one. But what would we use to find one of these missing angles? Use the law of sines. Here's your complete fraction, and then use the law of sines to find the other two angles. Okay? Well, find the next angle, and then use the 180 degrees to find the other ones.